Okay. A little better? Okay. It should be fine. Really, it's just a matter of timing. Okay. Count that. Okay. Let's get started. Perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Paolo Chasa, and I am the Teen Librarian in the Govins branch of the Enoch Pratt Free Library. Today is, I believe, the last session of the. Today, I believe, is the last session of the Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly for 2021. We will be continuing the lessons in 2022 as soon as I think the middle of January rolls around. Otherwise, next few weeks are what's called. We're just going to take a break for the streaming for the obvious reason, specifically holidays, and the fact that I think most of you guys are already going to be out of school that week anyway, and so feel free to watch the rest of like the other episodes beforehand and all the other fun stuff there, but at the same time, this is going to be our last session, and I think I'm going to use this time to go through the lessons that we've gone through and see what ways we could not necessarily improve, but just go through the old stuff to see like where our foundation lies as we continue into the new year with new things to learn, hopefully. Now, just as a reminder, so that we can go through, go through this section again. This program is brought to you by the Enoch Pratt Free Library of Baltimore, Maryland. This program specifically is the Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly, where you can learn how to draw anime and manga characters step by step in weekly sessions, specifically in these videos like these. Build up a binder of your best drawings and become a real artist. Supplies for the program will be at the Govins branch. Call this number to request an appointment to pick up the materials while supplies last. We still have plenty of materials, and we're hopefully getting some more. Specifically, this month and last month, technically. The materials that have come in include markers that we're professional alcohol markers that we're giving away. We're giving away one, but we have like a stack of really cool 72 markers that we can use in here in-house as soon as we figure out how to do this in-house as well as streaming, so it can work both ways. Hopefully we'll figure something out, but for now we have all of those materials ready for use here in the Govins branch. Just call us or come in, provided that you have a mask and can pass a quick health exam. Health screening, not exam. No one's being examined, just screening. Anyway, what's included in the kit is like a nice big binder, lots of really nice paper, a pouch for your pencils, some pencils, a kneaded eraser, some fine liner inks, and again, your choice of whatever's left of the markers, alcohol markers that we have that are available to be given away. It's gonna be a good time. Anyway, so these are the lessons that we're been looking at for the past few sessions or so. It's kind of weekly sessions, so there's been at least a good chunk of them. From the very beginning, we have the book. The book Mastering Manga Volume 1 by Mark Criley, that goes through all the stuff that we need. Let's call it all the stuff that we need, all the stuff that you really should, well, not need to have, but like ought to have. For example, I think one of the main things here is paper. Now, there's a quote from Terry Pratchett about how you can get away with using bad ink on good paper, but never good ink on bad paper. And that's especially true for anyone who wants to do graphic arts and graphic design and anything on paper, quite literally. Even if you're just doing calligraphy, it's better to have like a slightly nicer paper than copier paper that you usually get from your printer or your school's or library's printer. Pencils, that comes to what's called your preference. This is actually one of the pencils that we have from that's included in the material pack, specifically an Arteza number 2 HB pencil. It's nothing special, it's simply a pencil. You just need to use it to be able to make marks on paper, hopefully the good paper. Pens and rulers and kneaded erasers will come as you need them. Kneaded erasers are especially good because they can take away like very little or a lot of areas at the same as needed. They're very easy to manipulate and therefore much easier to use than just a regular black gummy pencils, rather erasers. Let's see. Oh, and then I believe this was a section that we copied off using choosing your style, the various hairstyles that we have, and this was the point where I just showed the book and it's like, oh, let's start doing this for this particular style and all that. Let's see. Lesson 2. Lots of manga eyes. Now, it's kind of it's kind of a trope or a cliche that the way you can tell what's manga or like not is depending on how big the eyes are. And this just goes to show that it can be any sort of style, so long as it's recognizably eyeballs. Let's see. I think this was just... Oh yeah, this was just the eyes and the facial expressions. I think we just took one, took another, and just added another... We just added more to... added together in Clip Studio Paint, which I should mention is the thing that we're using to... just the thing that we're using today. Or rather, the software that we've been using for the past few weeks. Now, these lessons can be applied for both traditional and non-traditional digital work. Specifically, if you want to draw on paper, you can. If you want to draw on your tablet or on your computer using graphics tablet like this, you certainly can, or a pen display or stuff like that. Essentially, how you want to use these techniques only matter a little depending on whether or not you're using digital or traditional, but the difference can be key to what you can use. Obviously, you can't Control-Z on paper, but I can feel like there's a lot more control on traditional paper in terms of like erasing with kneaded erasers, but that might just be me, or me just not having enough control in the digital space than some more like pros who do this like properly. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to second lesson. Oh, I should mention that this was like the thing that was included in the sketchpad, what's called the sketchbook, essentially. This lovely starter kit thing with, I forgot her name. She's from Lucky Star. She is a manga artist in there too. It's very very fun, and some recommended titles that you can borrow from the library to get you started on your drawing journey. I should have edited this to cut that page off, but essentially from starting to draw the face and eyes, we continued on for proportions, tips and tricks on proportions and how to do that correctly, and like the various styles that you can have, from like the full super elongated clamp shoujo or card captor Sakura type illustrations to the more chibi or yeah, I have to check the levels on my mic to make sure I don't blast your ears out. To the more chibi, like I can't think of another example, unfortunately, but like all I keep thinking of is Johnny Test in terms of like the very like skinny short model of like three heads high type character. That's not a baby, but rather just very like small proportion. It's kind of bananas. So female, male, and how the difference is very much in the eye of the beholder and the creator, which is always fun. I think the next one that we go through is just drawing adults. This is not very like this is very general in terms of like the more creases where wrinkles and like things tend to sag or things tend to get tighter because people's faces as they age tend to lose their elasticity. Let's call them become a little more stretchy or less stretchy rather. That's the entire thing of it. But like if you really get into this art thing, there are entire books that show you like, oh, this is how skin entire anatomy books that show you, oh, this is how skin like goes on bone, on flesh, and like sags as we get older. Like the wrinkles actually go here, etc., etc., etc. And like all the various places where it can show age just by adding a few more lines here and there in strategic places that actually show where like humans and how humans age and how meat drips off the bone or something. It's saying that without sounding like a real horror show, but that's exactly what that is. Let's see. Slightly larger characters. There's a great book called Morpho, how to draw fat, and it actually goes into very much detail on how fat like changes the body in terms of how like gravity works on it, where it works, and like the various places where fat tends to accumulate in the human body depending on your like body type or something. It's very useful and it's very realistic. I highly recommend, like if you're delving a lot deeper into learning how to be more diverse in terms of your body types, I highly recommend it. It's very useful. And how to draw babies. Little baby. Aww. Anyway. Then we draw a real baby, which is basically chibi proportions and stuff. I should mention all of these are available on what's it called, on the Discord or on the or just asking me or anybody either in chat or in what's called on the phone or wherever. We will show you this Google Drive. It's all free. All the books that it's come from, I can cite all the books that it's coming from, and you can print this out if you like, so you have a copy. Otherwise, we really recommend that you just borrow the book, or rather borrow a copy of the book, or buy a book so you can go through the full steps and not just the highlights that I've highlighted here and shown shown in the drive. I think we tried to draw a chibi once. That's about this high and not this short. That's ultra chibi. It's bananas. And the fun emotions or chibi emotions is really fun. This book, going through it like step by step is really, really fun. I highly recommend it. And then we start to do things, poses in motion, specifically not just standing still. It's just real. Like we're getting into it. Displays of affection and then fighting, and the classic poses for all anime and all that. It's a fun time, and I think we tried to do like one of these lying down poses here, but with like Bakugo. That was fun. Anyway, and this is where we kind of stop from using Mastering Manga by Mark Riley and go into how to draw action manga by Shoko. It's this one, Shoko and Makoto Sawa. And like radically different in terms of like how to draw humans, raise how musculature works. We're gonna get into this probably next year. But basically, all of this is available either in the book that you can borrow or in this MDL, Manga Drawing Lessons Weekly, Drawing Lessons Weekly, Lessons Drive. I'm sorry. Heavens. It's the middle of the afternoon. I'm just trying to get through it. It's a good time. Anyway, let's see. I'm just gonna very quickly double check to see if there are any questions in chat, both in the live stream page. Let's see. And in Discord. Okay. Okay. What's this? Okay. Nope, don't need that. Sorry, a lot of notifications are clouding my very relatively small computer. I'm just trying to concentrate now. Anyway, so these were the lessons that we went over for the past, what's it called? 2 months, few months, and there's a lot. There are a lot of books that we can go through, and not just in like the library here, but in the system-wide collection that go through various like anime/manga specific ways of drawing style, etc. And this is just one of the several ways to do it. Oh, you know what? Let's go over my. Let's go through some of my sketch sheets. This is kind of like fundamentals practice. Okay. Okay. Now, if this looks familiar, it's probably because I've been, essentially hawking it, saying, hey, this is the type of sketching practice or sketch warm-up that you should do, so you don't like hurt yourself when you're drawing. Because like, you can absolutely do that. I've done that. It's not great. And this just makes sure like the joints in your joints, muscles, bones in your hands, and like arms as well. Like if you like hold your hand like this and wiggle your fingers like this, you'll actually feel the muscle that's like right here that controls your hand and muscles and stuff like that. When I first found this out, when I learned how to play the saxophone, it freaked me out because I thought, oh, this is just muscle that connect my arm. But no, these very, very, what's it called? Fine muscles control your hands like the puppet's marionette strings. And if you're not careful, you can hurt that just by like leaning on your arm too much, or like not resting, or like accidentally like using too fine a control on your on whatever you're drawing, and then just accidentally hurting yourself. It's not fun. I highly do not recommend it. Anyway, so here is just drawing circles to help open your arm a bit more. Da, 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 da. And these are just drawing straight lines. I'll practice drawing straight lines. We'll be doing curves in a bit. Always make that too small. What'd I do? Oh. And then just doing ellipses, just like this in various, it's called sizes. Kind of warm up the hand like this. Then circles again. Okay. Ooh. In my arm. Huh, that's cute. Okay. In these small boxes, I tend to do like 4 things, which is like lines in one direction that like try to get as close to each other as possible. Varying, it's called pressures and widths, but just in the same direction. Here, I believe it's just like shorter strokes and okay. And it's starting to cramp up a bit. Okay. Ooh. Alright. And on this bottom left corner, I like to do like more circles, but specifically big circles. Medium circles to fill in the gaps where the medium with the in between bigger circles. Then tiny ones can kind of help gain like that control of like tiny circles and stuff. My arm is starting to hurt. Maybe because I'm just trying to concentrate on this. Or maybe it's because I'm more used to like looking directly at the thing I'm drawing instead of looking up and trying to make my hand do the like full what's it called? Hand-eye coordination thing. Maybe just I haven't drawn in a while. Either way. Oh heavens. Just checking the signal. Okay, we're good. We're still online. We're still live. Yeah. Down here, I usually try to do like a horizon line box or something. For those playing the home game, I'm trying to draw a piano. Something like that. I'm super not good at drawing people in perspective, and it kind of sucks, but there I go. So as you can tell, this sketching practice thing is a little big, because not only does it leave room for other things you want to practice, but also there's this simple exercise called the weird pair. Rather, I call it the weird pair because you're practicing your S and C curves by trying to trace over like a random shape that you've created using S and C curves. Over and back as best as you can. From here, you can try to give it depth. Oh, heads. I don't know why I always get so drowsy when I'm streaming. It's probably because I feel like I need to be, like, up front all the time. Or maybe because it's the afternoon, my body is still digesting my lunch and saying, you know what would feel great right now? A nap. Oh man, a nap would feel great right now, actually. I haven't taken my 15 yet. I should just take a quick snooze before heading off of work, but I can't do that. Middle of a program. And this is where we usually draw. Like when I was doing this program working from home, geez, more than a few months ago, back in like June, February, doesn't feel real. Time doesn't feel real. But like way back when, this would be the place where I'd be drawing or very quickly sketching like a randomly chosen anime character from in the hiragana alphabet. And I tried to be fair about it in terms of like sometimes I choose like a young woman, a young man, and an alternate with every character. But for now, I'll just keep it blank. I'm still feeling a little woozy, and we've only got 15 minutes. Anyway, so the rest of these practice sheets we're going to use with like gestural drawing, and life sketches, or just really quickly, what's it called? Drawing from life. Just so, or like gestural drawing. Like, there are a few apps online that can show you, like, oh, these are a few reference photos of people, various poses, and the idea is you have like a minute to draw someone in this pose, 30 seconds to draw someone in this pose, 5 seconds to draw someone in this pose, that sort of thing. And that is teaching you how to draw from life, one. It's very, very important. And two, how to apply like gesture in your drawing. And three, how to draw very quickly. You can spend hours and hours on like one piece and it'll still end up like crap. It's better to just like, oh, do this one as quickly as, like, do this one with the speed that you can to maximize your workflow and productivity, because it's easier to like make and fail with like hundreds and hundreds of pots, and instead of focusing all of your energy in just one try, like being able to do a try again and again and again, this iteration as opposed to perfection allows you like, oh, this is how to do it better than before because we know how to do it from before, that sort of feeling. And it doesn't just work with pottery, obviously, but also works with like how many drawings you draw, how many drawings you finish, that sort of thing. And quite frankly, it's better to just finish a drawing instead of like remaining something, having like a bajillion projects that never see the light of day because they're not properly up to polish. If you do something, or like start something and want to be better, finish that first, and then just try again and again and again. Being able to fail quicker is better than being able to strive for, useless perfection. Because there isn't such a thing. And that's my like bummer lesson for the week. Anyway, we've got about 12 or so minutes. I'm almost tempted to cut it short because I don't think anyone's in chat. No one's in chat. Let's see if anyone's in the Discord asking for help. Fortunately. Okay. So I'm just waiting for questions on Discord. Oh, I should mention that Pratt Free Library has a Discord. I think all you have to do is ask any of the teen librarians about it, and they'll give you like an email or a link to go to, and then you just fill out like, oh, this is you, just to make sure that you're actually a resident of like person who lives in Maryland, that sort of thing. and be able to do stuff. How to be able to be like verify that you're a teen, and you can come to our Discord. We're just gonna very quickly go through. We're gonna have to go through next year, while we're waiting for any questions on Discord. This is probably where we're gonna start off. Kind of like how this artist draw men and women, shorter line, shoulder blades, that sort of thing. Yeah. A lot of this artist's work depends on like perspective and like how to use that to maximize impact when it comes to like drawing your characters, doing action stuff, because it is literally a book about how to draw action manga. May actually start from like posing, or rather taking, using one of these poses, because they're very dynamic, and not just because of their perspective, but because of like their posing as well. Very cool. I think this one was, yeah, basic movement. This is just wacky, I love this. Using vanishing points in terms of showing dashing and sprinting. Very useful. Ninja running. Wow, that's Naruto running. Let's not kid ourselves. That's straight up Naruto running. They're not gonna say Naruto because obviously you don't want to violate copyright in Japan. Imagine they're holding an egg. The twinkle in the eyes rushing forward. Amazing. Okay, unfortunately I'm not seeing any, it's been a few minutes, I'm not seeing any questions on Discord. Oh well. Let's look through this one more time, or rather, let's look through this just once more to see what we're going to look forward to in the new year. The superhero landing. Tongue hanging out, that's amazing. And tracing practice. We can practice how to draw it by tracing it. Super useful. Anyway, I think this is a good place to end. I'm looking forward to the next year. Somebody's in my chat. I don't think that's a real person. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end that on that weird note. I think we're gonna go ahead and end it on that, and we'll see you guys in the next year. Like I said, this has been Paolo Jasa in the Govins branch of the Enoch Pratt Free Library, talking about manga drawing lessons weekly. We'll see you in the middle of January. I think January 9th, 10th. I'm not exactly sure, but it should be on the schedule already. For now, have a wonderful day and keep drawing, guys.